Well, positively Massachusetts, there's a husband and wife on the South Shore who have long embraced the adage, to whom much is given, much is expected. Rob Hale is the CEO of Granite Telecommunications based in Quincy. His business savvy and success have made him and his wife billionaires. And while they've always been incredibly generous with charities, the Hales are kicking it up a notch, vowing to donate $52 million. That's $1 million a week for 1 year to nonprofits and grassroots organizations that often don't get much attention. Pleased to have Rob Hale joining us this morning to talk more about his giving mission. And Rob, good morning to you. So what was the motivation behind this very generous undertaking by you and your wife, Karen?
Morning, Gene. Thanks for having me. I think you touched on it a moment ago. Karen and I have been very fortunate to help some of the great institutions in Boston that will help the world, household institutions. But that was our focus, and in so doing, we'd miss so many of the vital, active, impactful organizations that are smaller in our communities. And as we concluded last year, we thought maybe we should focus on those organizations, very positive leaders and highly impactful, as I mentioned, in our community. And if we help them, maybe if we give them $1 million that they use as an endowment that would draw down something like $50,000 a year, now they'll have a view to financial security for years to come and continue to impact our community.
How did you decide what organizations were going to get the money? Do you have a criteria, a list of things you wanted to see?
The first 20 were probably pretty easy. Having been active in philanthropic circles for years in our communities, we knew 20 that we held dearly to our hearts. The next 20 or so were a bit more challenging. To be honest, we would look into areas where we thought, oh, this is important, like rape crisis centers or animal shelters, and we would Google and try to find them and then make sure they met some of the expectations that we had. The last couple of weeks, it hasn't been very hard as the news has increased. We've been introduced to a whole lot of great organizations.
Yeah, a lot of folks reach out saying, hey, if you're donating, why not consider us?
Yes, we've had a bit of that, and it's been wonderful. I mean, honestly, there's so many great organizations. All of it's been eye-opening. There are a lot of people who help a lot of people in our state.
You've always donated to larger charities, been very active at Dana-Farber, Children's Hospital, for example. But was there something that hit you at some point and said, we need to do something for these smaller organizations where this type of money can actually be a huge game changer for them?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head with the word game changer. Again, Dana and Brigham and Children's, those are wonderful organizations, and they will flourish and impact the world. Some of these other organizations, they've been around for 3, 5, 7 years, but they operate on a shoestring budget. And so if we can give them financial certainty for years to come, then we knew they would continue to impact our community for years to come. And that was the mission.
Can you give us an example quickly of one group you have helped, one small organization, what their reaction was to getting that type of donation?
To be honest, there are many organizations that are smaller in our community, and to be honest, that phone call when we would tell them we want you to have $1 million and we want you to use it as an endowment, more often than not, honestly, they would cry. We all got so emotional. It was an awesome moment.
And how much of the $52 million have you donated at this point? How many sort of more weeks, if you will, do you have left?
We have 6 or 7 weeks left, and it's been wonderful. But as I mentioned, the last couple of days, the interest has peaked dramatically, and now I feel a need to help more. To be honest.
It's hard to say no. I know it must be very difficult to do that.
Honestly, as it comes to an end, it's bittersweet because it's a lot of energy. But man, there are people who could use help, so everybody should help.
Well, it's really remarkable what you're doing, Rob. So congratulations to you and to your wife, your family, your business. Incredible generosity on your part, and thanks for sharing your story with us this morning. And continued success as well.
Gene, thanks for the time. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.